Hey there, and welcome. If you're staring down the barrel of the GED Science test, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're not just going to learn some science, we're going to learn how to crack the code of the test itself. Let's jump right in. So, first things first, let me ask you a question. Do you think you need to cram every single scientific term and formula from a giant textbook into your head to pass this thing? It's what everyone fears, but I've got some really good news for you. The answer is a big, fat nope. You really don't. See, the GED Science test isn't so much about what you've memorized, it's about how you think. It's a test of reading, of reasoning, of finding the evidence right in front of you. So today, we're going to build your game plan. Okay, first up on our game plan, we need a map. This is the fundamental map for almost all life science questions. It's called the 4 levels of organization, and trust me, once you get this, a huge chunk of biology questions are just going to click. Think of it like a school district. Seriously. Cells are the individual classrooms. They're the smallest unit where all the action happens. Then you have tissues. Tissues are like the hallways that connect similar classrooms. They're groups of cells doing a similar job. Organs? That's the whole school building itself, made of different tissues, like your heart or your lungs. And finally, organ systems. That's the entire school district, with multiple schools or organs all working together, like your whole circulatory system. See? Simple. So here's the strategy, the part you actually use on the test. It's called the name the level ladder. The GED will literally give you clues in the reading passage. If it's talking about something inside a cell, like a nucleus, you're on the cell rung. If you see keywords like a sheet or a cluster of cells, ding, 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 that's a tissue. If it names a specific structure, like the heart or the brain, you know it's an organ. It's that straightforward. Okay, so we've got our map. Now let's zoom in on that very first level, the cell. We're going from the map of the school district right into a single classroom. And I want you to stop thinking of a cell as just some simple blob. A cell is more like a super busy, high-tech factory. And inside this factory, every little part has a critical job. You've got the cell membrane, that's the security gate deciding what comes in and out. The nucleus is the main office, holding all the DNA blueprints. Ribosomes are like little 3D printers building proteins. Lysosomes, they're the cleanup crew. But for the GED, the one you really want to know about is the factory's power source. So let's zoom in on the power plants. Everybody, meet the mitochondria. These little guys are the absolute energy workhorses of your entire body. Their whole job is to take the food you eat and turn it into something called ATP. ATP is the chemical energy that powers, well, literally everything. Every single heartbeat, every thought, every twitch of your finger. Now, look at this number, 5,000. What on earth could that be? Well, that's about how many mitochondria you can find in one single heart muscle cell. Just one. And that perfectly illustrates what they do, right? Your heart is beating constantly. It has a massive demand for energy, so it is just jam-packed with these tiny power plants. Pretty cool. Okay, so knowing how a cell works is key, but the GED also loves to test you on how a scientist figured this stuff out, and that means experiments. The secret to cracking experiment questions is just spotting the variables. I call this the IV/DV snap test, and here's a little trick so you never mix them up. The independent variable, or IV, is what I change in the experiment on purpose. The dependent variable, or DV, is the data you measure. Its result depends on the change you just made. If you can nail that difference, these questions get so much easier. All right, what about those long, scary, scientific-sounding words? Feeling a little overwhelmed? Don't be. You don't need to memorize a dictionary. You just need a decoder ring. A lot of these big science words are really just simple Greek and Latin parts stuck together. Just look at these. Bio always means life. Cyto means cell. Cardio means heart. So if you're on the test and you see a crazy word like cytotoxin, don't panic. You know cyto means cell and toxin means poison. It's a poison that hurts cells. Boom. You just decoded the word without ever having to memorize its definition. It's a superpower. All right, theory is one thing, but let's put this into practice. We're going to walk through a real GED-style problem right now, and we'll use the exact strategies we just talked about. Okay, here's our passage. It's short, sweet, and to the point. Someone's short of breath. Why? Because the alveolar walls in their lungs are damaged. Just lock that phrase in your brain, alveolar walls. And here comes the question. Based on that little bit of text, which level is the main problem at? Is it the cell, the tissue, the organ, or the whole organ system? Time to use that name the level ladder. Let's break it down together. Let's use our evidence chain. Step 1. What's the evidence? The passage points us directly to alveolar walls. Okay. Step 2. What is a wall? It's not one single brick, right? A wall is a structure made of lots of similar units, in this case, groups of cells. Step 3. Name the level. What do we call a group of similar cells working together? That is the textbook definition of a tissue. So the problem is at the tissue level. We found our answer. It's B, tissue. See how that works? So let's recap your new game plan. When you see a question about how life is organized, you pull out your name the level ladder. You see an experiment, you do the quick IV-DV snap test. You see a big, intimidating word, you use your vocabulary decoder ring. And for every single question, you always connect the question back to the specific evidence you can find in the text. And that right there is the big secret. The GED Science test isn't just about what you know. It's a thinking game. With these strategies, you're not just memorizing a bunch of random facts. You are learning how to look at a problem, break it down into pieces, and solve the puzzle that's right there on the screen. You've got this.